What group has not sought to define who gets to belong to them? What group has not tried to categorize and define the world around it? Why should white people be exempt from this universal human tendency? I can't imagine any group not wanting to define who gets to belong to them and not wanting to categorize the wider world around them. But to the New York Times, this is a haunting and unsettling matter that white people are like every other people in the world, right? They get to decide who belongs to them, and they get to categorize the wider world. Since when? Seriously, did white people get asked their opinion about the Biden administration's creation of a whole new racial category for the 2030 census called Middle Eastern and North African? Did I miss it when Jared Taylor from American Renaissance was invited on all the news shows to talk about whether this flight from white maneuver by the Democrats is good for the whites? Or when South Asians engaged in flight from white and got themselves reclassified from white Caucasian on the 1970 census to Asian on the 1980 census, and thus eligible for affirmative action for cheap loans from the Small Business Administration for minority business development and affirmative action in government contracting. I don't recall anyone asking the opinion of white people at all. Same for the creation of the ethnicity category on the 1970 census, making Hispanics into Schrodinger's whites eligible for racial affirmative action, but without having to admit that they aren't totally of 100% blue-blooded conquistador ancestry. Was the National Association for the Advancement of White People invited to testify at congressional hearings on these proposals? Then we have another news report. The audience of black journalists was prepared for a combative exchange well before Donald Trump took the stage Wednesday for an interview at their annual gathering in Chicago.